Hello and welcome to Collaborative Computing. In this video, we'll be going through the comprehensive project presentation that is due on Sunday. So the presentation should contain these elements that are listed on the course schedule, and we'll be going through them one by one. So the introduction section of your presentation should have your team name and team members' names. You should also have the name of the business and some background info of the business, like what do they sell, how long have they been in business, who is their customer, and so forth. And then you should have a statement of the problem, like write a very articulate statement of what the problem is that you're trying to work with this business, what is your proposed solution, and what is your research question. That is, what exactly are you trying to do, summarized in one sentence. So then the next thing is to formulate your theoretical framework. So this is an example of what your theoretical framework should look like. So there should be broad, in just broad terms, what is the problem that exists, not only in this business, but in general. For example, those who are doing social media, like how is social media related to business success and how is it related to business failure in general? So you have to do some research on that. Then you're going to connect the dots between your research that you found and the problem that you're trying to solve. So if research is saying, yes, social media websites are great for business success, then you can say, and in this business, this is that's why we are trying to do, that's why this is our proposed solution, because it's supported by research. And then in the to finalize that or to close that is that at the end of it, the reader should be able to understand the content and context of the problem. Is this a local problem, or is this an international or national problem? How does it affect the field? Like, how does this affect the business field? And who will be involved in this research project, and who stands to benefit from it? So here is where you are thinking in almost in global terms. Like, if you finish this research, can another business take what you found and be able to replicate? So you're not only talking about the business itself, but can other businesses benefit from what you do? Research part. So you gotta find a method. What method are you using for your research? So are you conducting interviews? Are you doing focus groups? Are you, even when you're doing, let's say, a design, that's your research design. Are you doing case studies? Are you surveying people? So you need to come up with what research method you're using, and look up online, and you'll find different definitions that have been given to different research methods. Then you need to come up with a hypothesis. So your hypothesis is what you expect to find. What are you hypothesizing? Like, you could say, my hypothesis is if this business has a functional website, they would increase traffic that comes into through their doors. So that is your hypothesis. Then review of literature, that's the one I was saying, as you're researching in your theoretical framework. Now you're condensing that research and saying, we are following the methods that were used in this literature and this literature, and we understand that this method has been opposed by this literature. So find literature that supports what you're doing, your hypothesis, and find literature that does not support your hypothesis. And sometimes you may not find research that opposes it, but if you find one, it will help you in your scope and limitation sections. So the next one is the significance of the study. Why is this important? Why would we care about it? So tell us why this is important, and that again will be supported by what you did in your theoretical framework. So scope and limitations. So this again, now you're narrowing it down to exactly what you'll be doing. So what are the objectives of your project? What is it that you're going to be doing? That is, what is the beginning of it, the end of it? The problem could be big, but you are doing just a little section of whatever the business problem is. What is the acceptance criteria? Once what is it that you're using to say, this is what I choose to do and this is what I choose not to do? And what is the deliverable? What are you going to give back to this business? What are the exclusions? Like I said, what are you planning to do and not do? The constraints. What constraints do you run into? And what project assumptions are you making? So I thought this chart does a really good job of giving definitions of those, and it's on Google. So look it up, and it will help you guide in writing this scope and limitations section. So project development. So then you start working now on, you have finished setting up your project. Now you're aware, what are you doing? So you list out the tasks, list out milestones, what is going to be delivered in each milestone, what are you using to collect data, what are you using to analyze data, and what do you expect to find? So that is kind of the scope of this presentation. And I know you are in the beginning of it. So some of the places like this project development and the scope and limitations may be not fully developed, but just do as best as possible to fill in with as much information as you know. And as as the weeks progress, you will have more information to add to it. So I hope this gives you a little clarity of what is expected on the project presentation. Thank you.